Hello and welcome to another gameplay review on the Virkayu gameplay channel, and in this one we are going to be talking about, well, 1. Divine Sunder and Nash's Tooth Conqueror on hit Ekko, also known as Bruiser One Shot Never Die Ekko, but also, how we can get into these throw moments from a jungler position, how we want to make sure we're focusing on our scaling, and sometimes you have to let laners do what they have to do, but then your build, the diversity, the itemization, why you go for those certain items, allows you to actually control the game, especially when it gets to those mid-game fights, because early game, you might not get, necessarily turbo-fed, but you still want to be ahead of the enemy jungler, you still want to make sure you're ahead at every point in the game. And now, of course, with the Conqueror build, as you'll see the runes show up on your screen now, just want to make sure I have the right game, because I was looking at a different one. Yep, Conqueror, Triumph, Tenacity, you have the Coup, Ravenous Hunter, and Sudden Impact. So, a standard Bruiser, Ekko Page. Tenacity is great versus things like Victor and Maokai and Aurelia and Hecarim. And as he starts here on the red, it's worth noting he still rushes the Nash's Tooth. Now, when you rushed, let's say, Lichbane Rocket Belt or Hextech Proto Belt in Season 10 and before, what were the item components that you loved? We loved the Sheen aspect once you had some AP. Not a lot of Echoes, loved necessarily that item as a rush. I definitely didn't. Raw AP always feels better. But you would very often have some AP. You'd have, the Kindle Gem for HP and cooldown, and then you'd have your Sheen in your pocket. The same thing really happens, let me turn the sound up for myself, when you go for the Divine Sunderer, because you have Nash's Tooth, which gives you 100 AP, 50 attack speed. You go Divine, and you just simply get Sheen and Kindle Gem. At this point, nothing really looks out of the ordinary. The thing is, though, right, when you look at that item, percentage 10% max HP damage, kinda high, especially against bruises and tanks. Secondly, you yourself get 400 HP, which should never, ever be ignored as a valuable resource with melee champions, especially if you would prefer that AP Bruiser style. However, you also get hybrid penetration, magic, and physical. So not only are your auto attacks, doing a little bit extra, not much, but you get magic penetration for your base values, which is absolutely huge. So as the build comes together, we'll talk more about it, but overall, really nice item for Ekko. It brings more value to your auto attacks, and of course you get to proc your passive more with the attack speed buff from Nash's. So here we have a standard red Krugs Raptors clear. The Hecarim, on the other hand, started on the top side, which means we should be matching them as we go down. Hecarim is already onto the Raptors, as you'll see. He is much quicker. There's a reason he's a top tier, top 3 jungler. But Ekko is definitely in a very, very strong spot, but not early game. Early game does not match up as well to certain meta junglers, definitely scales like an absolute beast. What we're looking to do here then is, I suppose, if you're the Ekko and you know the Hecarim started top side, either reverse clearing down to make sure you get some crowd control, or simply looking for an early gank. So we can actually speed this up a little bit. We don't need to watch every first clear ever. Syncing these two together, which is nice, and of course you can smite the Grump and make sure you don't lose aggro of the blue there. And then now you kill this, you get even more regeneration back. So that's great. The Hecarim, however, has already finished his full clear, which isn't actually that fast, but it's, faster than Ekko, which gives him prior on the bottom crab here. Now, the only way you actually go for this is if your bottom lane is shoving. So many times low elo junglers will still try and make this rotation. They'll still try and look to go ahead and get that crab, no matter what, at all costs, crab hunters unite, but you're not going to get it. So we give it, and we say we're just going to flip field. I'm going to run across, okay? If you have a Fog of War gap, you can use it, but you have to be very careful for the minions, okay? Very careful, because here you see, right? Not detected, okay? Not detected, because he's hugging the wall and he's waiting for this minion here. It syncs up really nicely, actually, but you do have to be very careful. You don't get, the little bit of tick, the last tick of vision actually reveals you. There you go. Got my thoughts out. Head to the top crab. Hecarim is warded there, which is nice, which means, 1, Hecarim has no idea that you did that. Hecarim will either assume, okay, Ekko did a full clear, reset, and we'll go directly to bottom crab now. Even if he did do all of this and float back, I want to double crab. And for him, you want to do this full clear into a crab, into a gank of mid ideally, into a top crab. So double crab, full clear, as well as ganking advantage. The Ekko sees this, and that's what's most important here. All right? When you see things like this, we can actually speed up as well. When you see things like this, it's what we put in as a counter gank. not only is it great tracking and anticipation, but with the visual confirmation, it just allows you to bide your time and relax. Okay, don't leave too soon. Search your W in advance. Woo! He saw it at the last second. It was a little too soon, that W. He dodges it out. Alright. But now he's in a fight with the Ekko and the Qiyana. The Ekko has to flash out, which is kind of tragic. So, do we always want to go for this gank? I think I would like to try it. If we time it perfectly, if Hecarim, hits that exact spot where you get the stun, you get the passive percentage damage proc from the W, which people always seem to forget about, great, we can actually turn that to our advantage. Otherwise, if he doesn't show, or perhaps he's ganking bottom lane, go ahead and simply take this. Don't waste your time, because now you have to give it up. The saving grace here is that the top laner isn't on the field as far as we know. Okay, the Irelia, we can't see the Irelia, alright? She's gone to ward, okay? And the Qiyana actually solo kills the Victor here as I'm sort of analyzing the jungle. So the gank actually ends up working well. Because you force the Victor away from his safety zone, okay? You give the Qiyana a little bit of spacing, and now the Victor gets arrogant and dies. So, 1 for 1. Push the wave here, you're gonna lose the crab, that's absolutely fine, we're not too concerned with that. Don't get trapped out by the Hecarim though, this is not something, we don't want to die for this. We actually have a TP come through from the Yorick to save you. I don't like that my top laner had to do that. It loses prior top side, it compromises any bottom lane plays. I think at this point it's safe to push the wave and just get out yourself. Don't force your top laner to TP into it, but nice of him to think of you, I suppose. Hecarim goes down, which will mean tier 2 Raptors. His tier 2 Krugs should be spawning very shortly. There we go. And Ekko now does tier 2 Raptors and tier 2 Krugs. So eventful and uneventful at the same time. Hecarim actually chooses to ignore Krugs, and this is something very valuable because if you do this, right? Which in low elo I would advise, perhaps even flexing into this, just to get your lanes ahead. You might risk losing all of this, but the warding here is pretty good. Actually, the warding is all useless, so never mind. The Hecarim is simply protecting the tier 2 camps up top. Ekko should reset here unless he's anticipating a gank from the Hecarim as well. They both haven't reset yet, so it's worth noting this gank here, this is an extended sequence now. 5 minutes 40, haven't been to base, but have 6 camps collected, plus a virtual assist, I guess, on the Victor, even though he caused his own pain there. At this point, from the Ekko's perspective, the Hecarim is either here, doing this, into a reset or bottom lane, but because your bot lane reset, not going to happen, he's not going to be bottom side. Or he's ignoring his Krugs, as people tend to do nowadays, just because it's so detached from everything, and then sequencing up. So you're sort of positioning yourself either for the counter gank or a simple gank of your own. Let's watch. Irelia goes in, okay, hits a stun on the Yorick. Ekko says hello. Irelia dances around absolutely everything. The flash comes through from the Yorick, the flash comes through from Irelia, she dings 6, she ults the Ekko, he throws at the W, stun, so gets a percentage damage proc, passive EQ, and now runs away. So Irelia, I liked it, but the problem is, there you go. Hello. Hello. So that, is it a good extended sequence? Should we have stuck around for that? I think it's too late. It's something you have to consider. The fact that your top laner just burned, did someone just actually sub Nico Live? Thank you for subscribing on Twitch. I haven't streamed in a while, but yeah, you're making videos for YouTube. It still pops up. So the Hecarim sequence is up here, and because your top lane has no TP, and she is was handling a wave pushing into her, she's closer to 6 than he is, and there's no ways he can get back up. So I think that play was a little greedy. I like the idea though, but are we in a position to win that 2v1? As you saw, no. But again, valiant attempt. So the Ekko's on the red here. We talked about perhaps even going into the tier 2 camps on this side, because the Hecarim has options. He could flex into the blue and the scuttle, or he could simply go directly to bottom lane and looking to take this, as well as this, and setting up a dragon take. And I kind of vented a little bit on it, but the Hecarim literally showed bottom lane as soon as I finished, so I didn't get to actually ask my question, but he chose instead to go directly to bottom lane, given that everyone is low and he has a 2-level advantage. This should give him something, but the Qiyana's roaming for a counter gank. Very nice. The Ekko, on the other hand, I just uploaded a ganking video on the main channel. You should watch that. What do you do with this information if you're Ekko? Right. You could simply do your Krugs as well. You could steal his blue. He chooses to do Raptors first, alright? Gets the crab. I still think here you could look to try something. If your mid laner is pinging MIA on the Victor, I think here she can just really shove. And you know the Hecarim went straight bottom lane and didn't have blue, which means this is freshly up. And, you know, it's a tier 3 Wolf Camp and a tier 3 Grom, so they're both spawning for the 3rd time. And we have Prior on the top lane with this Cannon Wave. So there's a really nice ability here to collapse onto the Hecarim that isn't being made. It's been completely missed by everyone. I don't think you should flex back to your Krugs. I think that's super safe. Is Hecarim ahead? Yes. But that's what I mean. He can't win in a pushed lane. He can't push here. The Yorick is just gonna die. Which means, why not try and make a play on this side of the jungle? It's something, if I'm in a flex and a clash team, I'm definitely making that play. So keep that in mind. Right. Let's step up the pace a little bit. Hecarim takes everything on the top side. Ekko's just going to do a full sequence, which you should then translate into a bottom lane gank, should it be provided. The Hecarim, the Yorick here actually roams on down, knowing that this is frozen, and there's nothing he can do. So as a jungler, what you need to do in this case is either help defreeze it, which could have been achieved from the invade, or while he roams to make plays, use that to get advantages in 5v4 situations that even though the Irelia gets super far ahead, right, you can actually still make plays that helps your team overall. Those are things we're looking for. We have numbers, we can drag it. Alright, got the Blasting one and then a Daggerino, so we can very easily do that. He now floats top wave, takes the Herald, slaps that thing down on the river, okay? Qiyana is forced to hold a top wave. So in this case, we're dealing with a supremely fed lane. And maybe I should put this in the beginning as well. I should mention this. I didn't want to super scout the video. I wanted to go in with a bit of a fresh mind. But that's tough to face. In this elo, I'm not too worried about it. Let's actually watch this trade. And in this elo, it's concerning. In a lower elo game, they're not going to know what to do afterwards. They're going to shove this and then just wander around the map, face planting into the mid and bottom lane tower, which will give you huge wave control here. And as long as you're controlling dragons, you're in a good spot. So Qiyana's holding top lane. The Yorick is semi-trolling. The Ekko is forced now to hold mid lane. Let's go. Let's observe. EQ. Alright. W is thrown out. Make sure you get the stun. Avoid the Victor stun. Get your shield. There we go. Auto attack. Ult for the damage. Got another E going through there. Flash is the ult for auto attacks, and they kill each other. So, pretty good. I take that trade, actually. I mean, Victors really do scale, but as Ekko here, you do also. Not much else you can do, really. If you use everything, and you get a 1v1, that's fine. In this case, the Hecarim is now just farming. Both junglers not really doing anything interesting. Hecarim died, so both 1, 2, and 0. Nash's Tooth, however, is completed. And there's an important lesson in this. You might be thinking, wow, 15 minutes and 1 kill. Yeah. 15 minutes and 1 kill. You scale. And it's not your KDA, it's your gold and your experience. The fact that he's level 8, Hecarim's level 8, Irelia's level 9. She's only 1 level ahead. And you just got Nash's. It's the atomization completion that comes through for assassins. Okay? So, we farm. We see Victor on the top lane, and this is what I'm talking about. They swap now. She's going to try to get pressure elsewhere. But this is a dude that has no sums, and now it's just going to be 2v1. This is what we're looking for. Gets us slow. The Maiden is available. Misses the Cage of Death, but it's Ekko. And look at the damage just from Nash's Tooth. Great. Nice. Okay? Exactly what you're looking to do. It's still 11:33, so we want to get as many plates as possible to equalize the gold deficit that we think is happening in our minds. In reality, you're basically equal. Trap comes through. Hecarim gets stuck. He's going to hold the wave. They're not looking to dive this. You could, but it's Hecarim, so... Unless you hit the spells... There you go. I mean, look at the damage just from... He fell for the bait. He fell for the bait. Oh, Hecarim. Oh, Hecarim. W? Avoids it. Thinks... And I'm gonna go and he's tanking the tower, but Ekko has ult, my friend. And he has Conqueror. And he has honor hit damage. And he has Ravenous. What you gonna do? Easy. GG easy. Right, don't say that though, toxic. We want to be sportsmanlike, with gentlemanlike etiquette. Okay, back to base. Sheen now, okay? Goes for the long sword, not enough for a ruby, or just chooses to go for the long sword out of preference. Up to you, you can go Sheen Kindle Gem. Farms again, ignores the Krugs, looking to make a play. The thing is, because she rotated a lot, okay? She's gonna try and get this pressure, and this is what I said is gonna happen. She just leaves the lane, and now is semi-starving herself, and Ekko, through all of those few minutes, since the top Herald push, is gained 2 levels. Hecarim is still 9. The Ekko has gained 2 levels. Alright, this is absolutely huge. The next thing is Dragon Focus, right? The next thing that's going to be up is Dragon. We want to make sure we have prior for that. So that's what he's looking to set up here. Push the wave. Get a plating. Great. Excellent. Bottom lane is just existing. You have a Taric Jhin. So later on in the game, it's going to be nice. But for now, rest easy, my friends. Yorick's is running around like a crazy person. You got wards here. This is what you see if you're red team. So you do not want to face check this. If bottom lane is detached, you do not want to face check this right now. Yeah? You want to be alive for the Drake. Most important thing. Saplings take the blue. How close are we to 11? There's a possibility. Depends on the level of the camps. The blue is 10. The Grump is only 8. So won't be enough to get him to 11. Doesn't get the crab. This is actually kind of unfortunate. Getting 11 before this fight would be huge just for the added level up and stats, as well as the second upgrade of the ultimate. You don't have much information here, and your Taric and Jhin have reset. So you want to pull this out knowing full well that they know that you're on it, alright? So I'm not always a huge fan of the turbo 50-50s, but in this case, you're Ekko, you have EQ Smite, and you're a level up. The Victor here has no TP and is probably really tilted. He was forced out of his lane. This is something you don't want to take a mid lane and say, look, I'm really fed, you need to move. And don't do it as a jungle either, it's really frustrating. Good vision though, they see what's going on. But the Hecarim gets trapped and is forced to ult out. The Ekko gets trapped in the ultimate from the Maokai and also forced to ult out. So they have numbers. Because Victor's top lane, they have to give it up. Fine. This is what I'm talking about, it's fine. Good. 2 dragons for a scaling jungler, alright? Instead of falling back, decides to invade. You have the advantage, you'll be 11 here very quickly. There you go. Hecarim now is down 2 levels. Hasn't really done anything. Hasn't been able to. And that's why that Jarvan video in the last one we talked about was really great. When you have winning lanes, and you want to really snowball that advantage, that's what we're looking to do. Another showdown, but the same level. Irelia didn't use her lead. Ekko withstood. Misses a stun. Gets the stun. And now you're auto-tagging. Slap, slap, slap. Nash's Tooth. Love it. Gets procced. If you avoid your stun and you hit yours with Ekko, you get the percentage damage, plus your shield, and then you're just whacking. Obviously, you got a 5-second lockout on your passive, though, so don't try and get multiple passive procs. On the same target. Right, farming. Great. How much gold do we have? 1,500. Alright? They're on the Herald. At this point, it's actually worth noting here. At this point, if you kill the Irelia here, and you know that this is up, you need to make a conscious effort to move on up, and I think that's something they should have done. You know, Kai'Sa's bottom lane, right? Kai'Sa's bottom lane. You have everyone here. So, the first Herald is gone, but the second Herald could be used for an absolutely behemoth level push once you get your Divine Sunderer. And I think this is an oversight, knowing that he's on it, just to leave. Your team's here, Aurelia's dead, Kaiser's bottom lane, your bot just floats on down. This is just, you know, it's like a Master Tierish game, so I mean, there's some diamond level tendencies. I feel like this is just wasted. You know, it's an objective that we can get from a kill, and we're not. And the whole blue team just collapses. I mean, he went to Wolves with an objective up. Aurelia now TP's in. Bottom lane goes 2v1. And now you have to give her this up. You can't fight this. Why? Why? I mean, now there's no point. Now you might as well be farming. You know? That's just bad. That's just bad, guys. You kill their most fed member, right? Group up, take the objective, kill anyone who dares fight you, reset, and now use your gold, shutdown, and objective to take more objectives. Rotating to Wolves there was a mistake, and bottom lane shouldn't have been so fixated on the Kaiser, because now the bot lane is over pushing. And because they're over pushing here and the Kaiser's reset, the blue team says, okay. And this is what we don't want. And the Ekko had that in his control. Ah, we have a fight. Right, so again, warded by the Maokai. The W is down, so that's huge information. Huge cooldown, 16 seconds still left up. Misses the stun, goes in on the Aurelia, gets ulted, ults for damage, and then flashes out. And now auto attack, you got the passive proc, and you should be able to EQ again. Conqueror, Nash's Tooth, Ekko. If you hate Aurelia, and she doesn't hit her E's. Ease. Right, wordplay, haha, okay. So this game's a little different, obviously. I'm waiting for the Krug spawn here, fine. We wanna reset here. But I don't like that they lost 2 towers. 4 towers. They lost 4 towers to Herald pushes. And the first Herald you have to give up because Yorick dies. But the first Herald could have been taken. If you simply all 3v1 the Hecarim in his jungle, take all of this, you can then take that, and the Yorick doesn't have to worry about this, because you can float with Kiana, or simply because Kiana probably have to go back to mid lane, but you can float with the Herald onto the Aurelia while she's frozen it. So you can help defreeze the wave and perhaps get some Herald pushes. So that was a way of avoiding this. But the second Herald definitely should have been achieved. Right. Sundara, Nash's Tooth, Boots of Speed. And now let the Fiesta games begin. Let the Fiesta games begin. Look, ladies and gentlemen. Look. That's one bonus 127 damage in one trade. Careful, 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 careful. Don't do that. Couple mistakes in this game, though, huh? Couple mistakes. Like, shouldn't be making them. This game could have been so clean. It was patient. You had the dragons. Could have been so clean. Now here you've got a dragon spawning, right? The red buff is obviously of more value to Ekko in this build because of the auto attack synergy, as well as the bruiser nature of the kit. But I don't think they should be here at all. This is a bit unfortunate. The bottom lane shouldn't be here. You should be falling back. There's a dragon spawning. There's no reason to overpush and be caught out. There's also no reason to simply be doing Krugs right at this moment. You've got a Scuttle Crab you could have achieved. You could have just taken the blue, taken the crab, hit the plant, see what's up, create some kind of control barrier. This is... I don't like it. Because now, you're going to rotate all the way down to the dragon, okay? With no vision, you're going to give it up freely when you could have stolen this. If you have vision control here, yes, your teammates are inting, but you could have very easily stolen it and ulted out, or at least tried to. And that's huge because it's an ocean soul, you know? But you see here, watch this, watch this, watch this. W doesn't hit, but look at the damage. Kite out using the movement speed, hit your Q, which gives you slow, auto attacks, lots of auto attacks, okay? Ease your mobility, very nice E. Use your Q for slows again. It is a Hecarim, so you're gonna have to time it properly. He's gonna ult over the wall. EW, hits again, Q for the slow, but you're not gonna get him. This time, please ult if you're gonna dive. You're not gonna get him. You're not gonna get him. There you go. The difference between Master and Challenger VOD reviews. Do you notice it? Not just in jungling, but in everyone. The decision making some places is just random. Yorik's dead again. Okay, great. So overall, we've reached the atomization spike. Now we need to find a way to take over the game. And you're going to notice two things about the throws, okay? It's the same thing I'm talking about quite a lot. Bottom lane is, you're Master tier, come on. I mean, you could say, yo, Ekko, you should stay bottom lane, but Yorick is dead, you don't have numbers. You know, our goal here isn't fighting. Our goal here is to shove waves to get tower pressure. Now, there's a 1v1 going on here. Now, Ekko's solution to this has to be hold up. Hecarim was pushed out of wave. These three are bottom side. One is top lane. I can beat Hecarim 1v1. I'm looking just to push tower pressure here. You can collapse on the Irelia all you like. But the fact that the Hecarim shows top here as well, okay, means you're losing objective pressure. I don't like this either. I would just be pushing this and paying attention to the rotations. Because of the cannon wave. You know, now this is here. So wasted cannon wave trying to chase down a Hecarim that you're not going to be able to... Or... Maybe. Okay, great. So we got kills. It doesn't really give you anything. Right, this is ridiculous now. Missed opportunities. You got a kill, but you didn't get an objective. I still think the pushing of cannon into some tower damage nets you a similar result. Right. Let's skip to the fun stuff. The Divine Sunderer gives you a lot of heals. Look at it already. 1,000 extra damage and over 700 heals. But the Irelia makes a good pick here. Shouldn't be in this situation at all. Nothing you can do. Just don't die. My mantra here is just don't die. Because you're not going to be able to beat them. I think once the fight is lost, that's something you have to consider. Once the fight is lost, try and get pressure elsewhere. Don't necessarily greed. You're going to have to lose this anyway. Try and push these waves. Maybe just, you know, take some camps. Push this. Get yourself fed. Take things away because you're not going to hold on to the Baron. But that's a big throw. That's a big throw. All because Irelia set a trap. Right, in this case, same thing. Right, they got the Baron. And now for some reason, we're pushing deep into this dragon territory. You're not going to be able to cover this. And there should be wards in these bushes. Alright, there 100% should be wards in these bushes. I don't think they'll win this fight. Their bottom lane is just chilling in the mid lane. Like, you don't have side lanes this game. Here we go. Good. Is this a coaching session or a high elo VOD review? I don't know. W. Stuns 2. Good job, Yorick. Good job, Yorick. You don't win it, though. You don't have Taric. I mean, you can handle... You see this, though? You can handle yourself against, Can you, though? Actually, never mind. He, too, has Divine Sunderer. He also has the regen from, Sterix. So, alright. Bad fights, bad fights, bad fights. How do you win in these games, you're asking? My team does this, too. You know, I try, and we get ahead, and then they throw, and we lose Barons and Dragons. Watch. All it takes at this point is to remember that you are Ekko, and that they will also make a positional error. If Master Chief plays a plane like this, same thing. And this is what I was talking about. These waves, they're so big to push out, because if you lose those fights, I mean, you're in big trouble. Big trouble. They will also be caught out. Watch the Irelia. But she's down a level. Like, all their grouping, and they can't match necessarily the Ekko very well. It's interesting. Now, Float. You have numbers advantage. You see how they don't have Baron, they didn't take an inhib. We need to try and push waves out. You're waiting for the next objective, and you're looking to use that Taric ultimate very well. We get the ultimate out of the Hecarim there, very good. Watch the watch it. Tied out, good. Segmented here. Okay, be very careful. You're split up. You gotta be very careful here. So it's good that they rotate back in. Now you got them into a choke point. You got them into a choke point here. Flash from the Maokai, that's very, very good. The cooldown up for Ekko is still 66 seconds with this build. The Yorick does inevitably die. Ekko hits the stun. Should, in theory, die unless you can get the slow and get out. There you go. So that's, you know, it's a great pick. You take the tower back out together, don't split up, and then overstay. Typical issues. Reset. Got the Magi Giants Bob going into Demonic Embrace. You don't have to. You can go Void Stuff against a squishy team. Against more tanky builds you can. But here we go again. You see? Get the W. Get the shield. Auto attacks. Oh, it's beautiful. It's so easy with this build. You can really take it to an Aurelia and a Bruiser. And that's why the atomization is so good. The auto attacks negate need for permanent spell usage against a champion like Yasuo and Yone and Aurelia, and the percentage damage that you have with your kit and any item means that those percentage damages really do impact the nature of that fight. In addition to the fact that you have your ultimate to avoid crucial CC spells and what have you. Here again, another W. Be careful though. Actually, got through with the root there. Watch the Maokai ult. Don't want to get caught out now. You're huge. You're huge. What you're looking for here is a TP coming in from Aurelia. What you're looking for here is to simply... Every EUS game, even though it's a great server, is just so funny. I don't know what's going on. I just randomly pick these. I just go through them like, is this interesting? Is this something we can talk about? Not every game's, you know, 1v9, 20,000 kills, as you can see. But yeah, the flash ult TP isn't great. Nice Yorick there, nice stun from the Ekko. The Taric ult comes through, you hit the Q for the slow as well. Okay. Kiana ult really doesn't hit anything. Now you can chase down, which is what Ekko loves. Hopefully you're seeing a lot of the benefits here. Don't overchase. Okay, Kai'Sa goes way deep. Way deep with the ultimate. Echoes can flank here. Okay, Taric is down. These are long fights. You see why the Conqueror and this build is so good in these long fights? I mean, we're at 2,100 bonus damage and 1,600 heals. Remember, the hybrid penetration is coming through big time. They're going to push mid lane now. So he cuts the wave off. Great heads up play. Dragon spawning. 4 people up. Jungler dead. We kind of 50-50 it. Let's push for the inhib. Ekko says, no. It's good. But now you can get collapsed on. You see? So the balance. The rest of the team noticed, which is good. Alright. Steal the red. Do the dragon. Baron's gonna be up. Because the jungle is dead and you're flexing to the third dragon, which is the ocean, you don't want to give them 3 oceans. They're gonna go straight for the Baron. So because they made the call, he stays on the dragon here and they try and contest it, but it's a Kai'Sa, you know? Kai'Sa does a lot of damage to Baron. You're not looking to necessarily force a fight here, I think you just give it. As I said, just give it, give it, give it. Don't fight now. Don't have your mid laner. Please back out. Come on, guys. You just got a third dragon. Chill. Like this. You're not trying to do this. I know you want to steal it, but if you die and they get it, they can push and rinse your base or maybe even end. You know? I don't think this is the steal moment, my friend. Lose your ult now, too. I don't think you can steal it. I think you just have to leave. He's lucky. He's lucky. I mean, that's I see that way too often. The fact that they got it doesn't matter. You got three drakes. You're down on gold. Who cares? Okay. Push the mid lane. This is it. This is it. Make the pick. Step 1. Always make the pick. They have Baron, but they're out of position. Hecarim goes in here. Okay. What speed am I? Taric ult comes through. Make sure you don't have your ult now, so make sure you're actually using mobility and your auto attacks to get in and out. Flash, there's nice. Throw the W. You can get back into it. Very nicely done. In and out gameplay. Full stacks Conqueror. Heals from Divine Sunderer. Very well done. 2,600 bonus damage. 2,000 extra healing. And a lot of outplays. I think at this point, the fact that Kai'Sa's bottom lane loses them the game. The same reason that the fact that bottom lane gets picked here loses them third Drake. They could have easily sold this and gotten the first Herald and won this game very quickly. But just stupid things gives the enemy team hope. Why? You're just doing this 1v9 tank Ekko freaking... How much HP does he have? 2,700 HP. You can end off that. They FF or you end. Oh, Kaiser doesn't get stuck. Ah. What an absolute ridiculous game. But I hope you can see that the Divine Sundra Bruiser Ekko with Nash's Tooth into things that can kite you, that are difficult to hit your spells on, and also stack an immense amount of HP. Yep, you can defeat them with this build. And that's all I was really trying to show you, coupled it with some pathing jungling, mid-game decision making, and of course, how not to throw. So, I hope you enjoyed that. It's a little bit of a different one, a long form one, and more of a coaching session, free talk. There you see the final KDAs. Definitely a great performance by the Ekko. Huge carry game. Definitely had no business really winning that. They even were losing in gold at the end of it. All because his team fighting and his build made it so impossible to deal with, and you were never going to burst the enemy team at all, so... Well done to the red team. Bot lane, please stop whatever you're doing. It's tragic, and you're making my game seem like a fiesta, and you're not really giving us a good look in EU West. Thank you very much for watching. I'll have another video on Saturday. Enjoy the holidays, Christmas if you celebrate. Otherwise, best of luck in, games and your days. And yeah, see you all in the next tutorial.